on the agenda, we had a potential collective boycott of the 1968 Olympics. We educated ourselves as to why we felt it was necessary to make a statement such as a boycott. We attempted to educate as best we could the young athletes, my teammates, as to why we felt that they should bite in or buy into this particular boycott. But many of them felt like, hey, they've trained all their lives. You know, they promised their kids, their church, their community that they will go to the games and win a medal. We didn't have the right to dictate to them and tell them that absolutely you must boycott these games. When they took the vote, decided to go, so be it. But yet and still, I felt it was still very necessary to make a statement, a humane statement about the ills of society that affected blacks and people of color, not just in the United States, but throughout the world. So
yeah, I'm very interested in hearing it. It was a shoeless protest, wasn't it? And you talked to me. I believe you had left your black gloves in the Olympic Village, so you had to borrow one.
That's nonsense. That's nonsense. It was only one set of gloves from the start. You know, along the way, people would do a lot of additives into it, like as if though they were there. They dictate what was going on, but that's total nonsense.
All right, what effect did it have? I mean, it was widely perceived. You were ostracised, weren't you? Expelled.
Yes, they did that, but that was the powers that be once again trying to restrict individuals of color from making a statement. You know, I didn't get on the victory stand and pull my pants down the Moon Society. I didn't give the finger and discuss about what was happening. I think what I did was something that was very dignified, something that was very necessary, and something that was very educational.
Was it a trailblazing moment for what was to come?
Well, the trailblazing moment in the Olympic Games, that's for sure. But it's not a trailblazing moment in regards to trying to fight for equality and justice. What
can be done now? We heard that the International Olympic Committee have allowed protests now, haven't they? Let's spring forward to now, but not on the podium. Is that a disappointment to you?
Well, it's really no change of the rule. I mean, they're just trying to put a Band-Aid on it and give me the impression that they made a change, but they didn't make any significant change. You know, like if I'm going to protest, I'm going to go on the London Bridge and protest. I'm not going to go beneath the bridge, underneath the bridge, or behind the bridge. I'm going to be on the bridge to make that statement. Why? Because I'm trying to reach as many people as I possibly can. They can restrict you and add or take away when you do something on the side that they're going to film. They can edit, but when it's live and live in color, they cannot edit because it's spontaneous. They have to respond to what they're seeing right before their eyes.
What kind of protests will you expect this time, then, to see?
Well, I'm sure every individual that decides to make some sort of statement, I'm sure would be just as dignified as the statement that was made in '68. However, I don't know what particular protest they will make, other than the fact that I would say that each individual has to check his moral compass. If morally you think something is wrong and you think you can be a catalyst to bring attention to it, to make things better, you have that right. No one on this earth has the right to tell you that you don't have that right. The powers to be of the universe, the gods of the world, they're the ones that can dictate as to whether you have a right to make a statement or not no one that's hosting the Olympic Games.
How much has changed in the fight against racial injustice over the past 5 decades, John?
Well, I would think that more people have taken the blinders off. I think more people can think clearly for themselves. You know, years ago, 53 years ago, many individuals were led by headlines in the newspaper. They were led by commentary from the news media. Now, today, with the internet the way it is, individuals can see things spontaneously and they can digest it and make a decision as to whether it was right or wrong, up or down for themselves now.
Talk about these. Go on, carry on.
I was going to say there's far more many people as young individuals in terms of athletes starting to realize who they are, what their worth is, and how many people that they can communicate to realize that we all have this problem, and we all going to have to come together to try and solve this issue called race relations.
Do you think people are listened to more than they were in 1968?
I believe many people are listening now. I think many people are far more clairvoyant in their minds now. I think they have a new paradigm today than they had back 53 years ago. And at the same time, the athletes are saying there's no turning back. We will never go back to what it once was prior to 1968. And I might ask you a question as a journalist. The question for you is, when was the Rule 50 established? Was it established when the Nazis got in the stands in Berlin in 1936 and gave the Heil sign with swastikas running up and down the stadium? I don't recall reading anything about them establishing Rule 50 from that. But Rule 50 came about very strongly after we made a statement in 1968. 2 young individual black men with the support of a young individual white man.
And very, very quickly, in one sentence, Dina Asher-Smith, she's taken this stand. People should have the right to protest, she says.
Absolutely. She's absolutely correct. And I have a hero in England that I'm so proud of her, and I support her in any way I can, because there's a young lady that realized that she is a beacon for society, and she can make a statement to have other people begin to think for themselves as to whether it's necessary for individuals to step up in the most critical time of their lives to make a statement for the better part of the world.